Up first, the Herman Cain campaign has a controversy on its hands this morning. According to a report by Politico, the Republican frontrunner was accused of sexual harassment by two women in the 1990s while he was head of the National Restaurant Association, a lobbying group. Cain's camp is denying the report, calling it untrue and an unfair attack. Earlier on American Morning, we spoke to Jonathan Martin of Politico, one of the reporters who broke the story, and he detailed the accusations that have been made by one of Cain's alleged victims.
One of the women at one point was asked by Mr. Cain to come to his hotel room, and she complained, the woman did, to a board member at the organization about that request. And she was one of the women who subsequently did leave the organization, got a cash payout.
Let's get the latest on the Cain controversy from CNN Deputy Political Director Paul Steinhauser. He joins us live from Washington this morning. Paul, Cain has these two big speeches later on today in Washington, D.C. I don't think reporters will be asking him about his 999 economic plan.
No, I think that's a pretty safe bet, Carol. And Cain was confronted yesterday by Martin. Politico says they've been questioning Cain or looking for answers on this story for about 10 days. So yesterday, Herman Cain on the Sunday talk shows right here in Washington, and Jonathan Martin asked him some questions. Take a listen.
I'm not going to comment about two people that you won't tell me who they are, okay? I'm not going to comment on that because, you know, I think that is one of those kinds of things that...
Thanks. Yes or no? Thanks. Last question.
Have you ever been accused of such a thing?
Okay, so that was Sunday morning. Let's fast forward about 12 hours and the story breaking online. And the campaign quickly put out a statement. I reached out to J.D. Gordon. He's the communications director for the Herman Cain campaign. This is the statement they put out immediately after the story hit. And it goes, fearing the message of Herman Cain, who is shaking up the political landscape in Washington, inside the Beltway media have begun to launch substantiated personal attacks on Cain, dredging up thinly forced allegations stemming from Mr. Cain's tenure as the chief executive officer at the National Restaurant Association in the 1990s. Political trade press are now casting aspersions on his character and spreading rumors that never stood up to the facts. Since Washington establishment critics haven't had much luck in attacking Mr. Cain's ideas to fix a bad economy and create jobs, they are trying to attack him in any way they can. Sadly, we've seen this movie played out before, a prominent conservative targeted by liberals simply because they disagree with his politics. Carol, that statement is interesting because we talk about inside the Beltway, Washington, conservatives being attacked by a liberal media. It seems that is one of the tactics the campaign is now taking as they try to push back against these allegations.
Well, it's difficult to get more information on these allegations because the two women in question, I guess they settled on five-figure settlements. Both of them left their jobs, and they're under orders as a requirement of those settlements not to talk about the allegations. But when Jonathan Martin was questioning Herman Cain, he said he did not know who these women were, and that kind of defies logic, doesn't it?
It does seem a little odd. Now, I think what's important today is how Herman Cain responds today. Yesterday was one matter. Now today he is aware of this story. His campaign is aware of this story. And as you mentioned, he's got two very high-profile events right here in Washington today. First this morning at about 9 a.m. Eastern, a speech at American Enterprise Institute, which is a think tank. And then later at noon, the National Press Club. He's got an event there as well. And as Jonathan Martin said, he will be there. We from CNN will be there and other members of the National Press Corps. So how he today responds to these questions is very, very important and could be very vital to the success of his campaign, Carol.
Paul Steinhauser reporting for us from Washington. Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to turn to Shocktober or Snowtober, as some are calling it.